This is our fault. Okay, we're the ones for the last 15 years, 20 years, we said, oh, that's okay, whatever, man. Oh, your kid gets a 15th place trophy. Whatever, man. Oh, we're going to remove the Pledge of Allegiance. Whatever. Can't say this or that, even though it's true. And that's what's gotten us here, bro. We did it to ourselves. And now we're in a situation where we are at a tipping point. We are at a point where we are going to find out which direction the country is going to go. At this point, the way I see it, I don't think there's any way that there's anything they can do besides flip the game table over and cause mass chaos. And what I mean by that is turn the power off, turn the internet off for an extended period of time, have some sort of mass violence, which like I said months ago, is going to be between the migrants and the citizens this summer. It's the people who are least equipped to deal with violence who are leading us down the road of violence that, at this point may or may not be avoidable. What is up, guys? It's Andy Frisella, and this is the show for the realists. Say goodbye to the lies, the fakeness, and delusions of modern society. And welcome to reality, guys. Today we have Andy and DJ Cruise the Internet. That's what we're going to do. That's what CTI stands for. It stands for Cruise the Internet. This is where we put topics on the screen going on in the world. We talk about what's up. We speculate on what we think is true, what we think is not true. And then we talk about how we, the people, have to be the solution to some of these things going on in the world. Other times throughout the week, we're going to have Q&AF. That's where you submit questions and we give you the answers. Now, you can submit your questions a couple different ways. First way is,
guys, email these questions in to askandy@andyfrisella.com.
Or you go on YouTube in the comment sections on the Q&AF episodes, ask your question in the comments. We'll choose some from there as well. Other times we have Real Talk. Real Talk is just 20 minutes of me giving you some real talk, just some stuff that I think you need to hear. And then we have 75 Hard Verses. 75 Hard Verses, where people who have completed the 75 Hard program come on the show, talk about how their life was in chaos before and how they unchaosed their lives using the 75 Hard program. If you're unfamiliar with 75 Hard, it is the initial phase of the Live Hard program, which is the world's most popular mental conditioning program in the history of Earth. And it is free, by the way. You can get it at episode 208 on the audio feed. And there's a book. The book is called The Book on Mental Toughness. It is on andyfrisella.com. You don't need the book, but the book is for people that want to know the ins and outs and the details. I'm one of those people. It also has, in addition to the entire Live Hard program, it has 10 chapters on mental toughness, a bunch of case studies on famous people you know, how they use mental toughness to become the people that you recognize. Now, one thing about this show that you're going to notice is that we don't do ads on the show. I don't fill your ears with 30 minutes talking about products that I don't actually use. I don't want to answer any companies. I want to keep it real. I want you guys to know that what you're hearing from me is what I actually think, and it's not manipulated by someone else's agenda. So I don't do ads. And in exchange for not doing ads, and because I don't do ads, I talk about things that, they don't want us talking about. So I need your help, and I make you a deal. No ads on the show. And then I ask you guys to pay the fee. And what the fee means is share the show. If the show makes you think, if it makes you laugh, it gives you new perspective. If it's something you think needs to be heard, if it teaches you some new skills, which you'll definitely get off the Q&AF episodes, please share the show. All right? Like I said, we're constantly fighting different forms of censorship, shadow bans, traffic throttling, et cetera, and we need your help to get the show out. So don't be a hoe.
Share the show.
All right. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Nothing.
Yeah?
We are joined.
We are.
We are joined.
Credit scores rise.
The credit score is up today because we have our good buddy, Matt Graham. What's happening, bro?
What's going on? Thanks for having me back.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm doing good. In town for Summer Smash. Ready to party, ready to hang out, meet some people.
Yeah.
It'll be my first time since being on the show, so that'll be fun to meet a bunch of new people that have been listening to the episodes I've been on. So
now you've had a major life change since the last time you were on the show.
Yeah, man. Matt's came out the closet.
Yeah.
That's what, straight?
Yeah. The baby closet.
I'm here to announce I like men now. No. Had a kid, yeah.
Had your first son, huh?
Yep, first
That's pretty awesome, dude.
One
Congrats.
for one. Appreciate it, yeah. It's been a wild adventure, obviously, there's been some complications, but everything's good now. He's a strong, healthy, happy baby, and we're chilling. So
that's awesome, man.
I love it.
Well, congratulations on that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So what's up, dude?
Yeah, man. You know, it is Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Today is Memorial Day when the show was recorded, and you know, I it never ceases to amaze me, man. You know that the days that you think would be major, lasered focused, and what you would think would be the normal reaction, I guess, from media and what they would want you to focus and see about. It's not really it, and so I don't even want to go into it. You search Memorial Day celebrations. These are the top headlines that pop up. Nothing about what it's supposed to be about, right? And it's what they want you to think and what they want you to hear. These are headlines about Donald Trump, of course. Top 3 headlines when you search Memorial Day on Google. This is what they want to talk about.
Yeah, Eric Trump slammed for particularly disgusting Memorial Day weekend post. What was that?
Nothing.
What did he post? A shitty hot dog? One of them chili dogs?
No, he posted like a fucking, I think he posted a meme, which he didn't even post on Memorial Day. It's just dumb stuff.
Trump attacks Biden, hush money judge, and Memorial Day post, human scum. Well, he's not wrong.
It's not. But like that's what they want you to focus on, not on what we really should be focusing on. Memorial Day. I know Memorial Day hits close for you, Andy. With your grandfather who served our country, and I understand too, like the layout, I guess, and the narrative on, these generational wars we've had, it's changed, I guess, in recent years, right? But, still, yeah, there's a reason for this day. We take time to appreciate those who have gave and made the ultimate sacrifice, man. I think it's just disgusting that you still have MSM that decides to try to go off of low-hanging fruit. But yeah, I don't know, just kind of annoying, but
well, I mean, it's gotten worse and worse as the years have gone by. When you have Kamala Harris saying enjoy the long weekend,
right?
And people, I saw a story today where the director of the Alaska National Parks made the construction crew that was working inside the park remove their American flags off of their equipment. And we got all these people in here that are so fucking woke. They don't understand, bro, if you really feel that way about this country, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Fuck you. And on another note, it's frustrating, as I've gotten older, as DJ mentioned, my dad's biological dad was killed. He fought on Utah Beach on D-Day, and then 6 months later, he was killed to the day. So December 6th. And as I learn more about our history and both sides of history and some of the narratives they've used to bring us to war, it really, it really makes me fucking angry. It makes me angry to see these cemeteries like Arlington and Jefferson Barracks here in St. Louis that are just miles of dead young men and women who were sent to wars under false pretenses, about freedom and democracy, when in reality it's about money and it's about greed. And the older I get, the madder I get about that. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean I respect what happened any less or respect the people who made those sacrifices any less. I mean, those are the bravest people of this country. And I have
real sacrifices.
That's right.
They were fighting for the right reasons.
Correct. That's right. And we all believe that. We believed it. I grew up believing it. They believed it. And we were willing to fight as a country for those ideals. But when you start to realize that those ideals weren't actually those ideals, it's infuriating, dude. And to look at thousands of headstones of young men that had futures and families, and to know that it was just some disgusting politicians that decided they wanted to, get the war machine going, or they wanted to make some money, or there was backdoor deals about who would get this and that, to send these, young men and women to die. It's infuriating to me.
It's sickening.
Yeah. And I don't want that to sound the wrong way. Cause dude, the whole reason I do what I do and speak out the way I speak, it would be much easier for me to just talk about business and success like I did before we had Real AF. A lot of people that are Real AF listeners, you guys didn't know that I had a #1 podcast on business before Real AF called MFCEO Project. And it would have been easy for me to continue to talk about that and talk about making money. I like those things. I like business. I like making money. I like kicking ass. I like people improving their lives. I like people creating lives. But the main reason that I ever started speaking out about what I saw going on was because of what happened to my grandfather, dying as a young man, never meeting my dad, you know what I'm saying? Never growing up and seeing my dad grow up or seeing what, Sal and I have done. And it's just, if he can go over there and die at 20 years old, we can fucking speak up. You know what I'm saying? And like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, the older I get, the more pissed off I get about what has been done to our generations of men in this country, to be honest.
Yeah, that's real shit, man. Guys, jump in on this conversation. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments. Let us know what you guys think.
We shouldn't be fighting these wars for these fucking tyrants. That's basically the bottom line.
Yep.
They should be thrown in the fucking in a fucking pit, and fuck you. If we didn't have, there's about 2,000 people globally that fuck it up for everybody else. And those people, honestly, the minute we all figure that out, we can fucking deal with those people, and we'll have peace and harmony in this, and not even just here in this country, but globally.
Yeah, in the world, man.
Yeah.
Let us know, guys. With that being said, man, we do got some interesting stuff to talk about. We got some trolling we got to handle.
Oh, do we?
And
all right.
And we get to see some trolling too, which is always fun.
Yeah.
Guys, remember, if you want to see any of these headlines, videos, articles, links, go to andyfrisella.com. We link them all there for you guys. With that being said, let's get into our first headline. Let's see some trolling. Orange Man. I think he has perfected the art of trolling.
I think he just tells what he thinks is the truth.
Yeah, and like it's impressive.
I know.
To see.
Is this the Libertarian thing?
It is.
Okay,
it is
I love that.
It is the Libertarian thing. So yeah, and I love how MSM and left-leaning news they try to spin it. But this is CNN's headline: Watch Trump react to getting booed at Libertarian convention, which doesn't paint the whole picture. But I do got the clip of this interaction. Let's check this out.
That's nice. That's nice. Only if you want to win. Only if you want to win. Maybe you don't want to win. Maybe you don't want to win. Thank you, D-Roy. Thank you. No, only do that if you want to win. If you want to lose, don't do that. Keep getting your 3% every 4 years. The reasons for doing so.
So he was telling them, like, you guys need to vote Republican. Vote for me. Put me on the ballot. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, he's like, all right, do that if you want to win. Otherwise, just stick with your 3% or 4%. Like, bro.
He's not wrong.
How can you argue that?
No, he's not wrong.
It's statistical fact.
Yeah.
He's not wrong, bro. They don't, and you know why they only get 3 or 4% every year?
I do, yeah.
It's because they do shit like this. Who they just chose as their Libertarian Party presidential nominee is an openly gay former Obama supporter, Chase Oliver. This guy, who they just selected, and it's like, and that's not the main reason, right? There's a lot of, listen, I like libertarians. Dave Smith, we've had him on the show, great guy,
super smart dude too,
super smart guy.
Yeah.
My issue with libertarians and why I feel like they don't succeed is because it's too much. One, I think the whole thing is just a big contrarian movement. I'll be honest with you.
Well,
like there's nothing you can do that's going to 100% satisfy anything. And this like, well, we need zero government. Well, that's not really realistic. Right? There's a lot of just very unrealistic things that I feel like they just need a couple of whiteboard sessions to really like figure some shit out, and it might be all right. But I know this doesn't help, right? But yeah, so they just selected this guy, Chase Oliver, who's an openly gay former supporter of former President Barack Obama. Now they picked him to be the Libertarian Party's presidential nominee for this upcoming election, and he won the vote by like 60%, I believe he got. I don't know. I mean, it looks a little weird, but
I mean, look, dude, I don't give a shit that he's gay. That doesn't bother me. I don't fucking care about that. But
I don't like the Obama part.
I don't like that. A lot of people, though, if we're being honest, like in 2008, I wanted Obama to do well. It was very inspiring. He ran an inspiring campaign.
I fucking knew it.
What? No, I didn't vote for him. Yeah. No, fuck no. I actually me and this girl I was dating broke up over it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But, because she loved Obama and I fucking couldn't stand how fucking stupid she was.
Yeah.
So, about it.
Yeah.
She wasn't stupid other ways, but I was definitely questioning it.
Yeah, for sure.
But here's the problem I have with the libertarians. They are a contrarian movement at the base. Like they're very hard to get. They lack organization and they lack the ability to get cohesively aligned because they all want to pretend and compete about who's smarter and who's more intellectual and who can make better points, which is actually a fucking progressive or a liberal way to kind of operate. They lack strong leadership, dude. This guy's not a fucking leader. Like this guy might be smart. He might have good policy, but he's not going to cohesively be able to unify people and get them going. He's not strong. I can tell. I've seen him speak. I've seen him talk. It's just reality. And yeah, some of the way they think is unreasonable and it wouldn't work.
It's unrealistic. Yeah.
And even if it would work, okay, let's say they're right. The idea is so far out there that not enough people, like Trump said, only 3% of people can accept or even understand how it could work. So if you can't present an idea for the average American to understand how it will work, how can you win at all? You can't win. It's basic marketing. Like, if you can't sell the American people on why, having virtually no government will work, which they can't, how are you going to get people to vote for you ever? If you don't have a strong leadership that makes people feel inspired about the future of the country, that paints a picture of what things could be and how things could be and how things should be, how are you going to get people aligned? And that's the problem I see with the Libertarian Party. I actually identify with most of the things they talk about. Not everything, obviously, but this is freedom. And that's what freedom's about. I don't agree with everything. And I think that's another problem with the Libertarian Party is that they understand that freedom means you're not going to accept everybody else's way of life. And I think that's a good thing, but that's a very hard thing to sort of corral and move forward as a collective movement.
In this time, in this day and age.
In any day and age. Yeah. Like that's like, it's like, okay, here's First Form, right? I just use this company for an example. We have a lot of people who are aligned, right? They train, they're healthy, they're into personal development, they're good people, they care about the community. They are trying to move forward in a specific cultural direction. Now, if all of those people had different viewpoints, okay, and some of the people wanted to go play video games and eat Doritos and drink alcohol every day, and some of the people wanted to go smoke crack, but they all believed in, something like we want the world to be better. How do I create a movement out of that? Mm-hmm. You can't, because there's not any unifying core values. And that's the problem with the Libertarian Party at its base, that none of them have been able to identify, quite honestly, because none of them have led anybody to do fucking anything, and they haven't built anything. So they need someone who's built shit, who's led people, who understands culture and understands direction to strategically create a movement inside of their movement. Otherwise, they are going to only get 3% because you're going to get all the people who are like, yeah, no government, chaos, anarchy, and, like the contrarian shit where it's like, well, actually.
Literally?
Yeah. And that's the problems I see with it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, people mistake Trump for being unintelligent because he's simple, but the reason that he's popular and has a lot of momentum is because he's simple. Like most people, the average person reads at a 6th grade level, and like you can't have a movement that requires a lot of intelligence or a lot of like forward thinking in order to build a mass movement. But libertarianism is a flawed way of thinking because it's really just a precursor to liberalism. It's really just like liberalism without a few steps. Like it's just do whatever you want. It's the same messaging. It's just like instead of we can only do what we want, meaning like the LGBTQ people and the right-wing people, they can't do what they want. That's liberalism. We can do what we want. You can't. Whereas libertarianism is just everybody can do whatever they want. And I fundamentally don't believe that you can build a civilization on you can do whatever you want, or anybody can do whatever
without
they want.
without some sort of cultural values.
If you are everything, you are nothing.
Right.
And so you need to have
That's a great point.
You need to have a structure. You need to have guidelines and parameters in order to exist and be anything that's different than just complete chaos.
Well, there's got to be some lines, right? Like
100%.
Like, where do you libertarians agree that drag queens should be showing their balls to kids and strip teases in their preschools?
Right.
Oh, well, people are free to do what they want. Well, no, because you can't have a functioning society with certain boundaries crossed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So
no, that's
I agree with you, dude. I think that's correct.
This is why the whole religion debate, like as it pertains to its influence on politics, is hard to discuss, because people will argue, well, you can't legislate morality. Well, to a certain degree we do, because we all agree murder's wrong. Why do we agree murder's wrong, but not other things are wrong? Because that's just where we decide to draw the line. So for people that say that you can't have religion or certain conservative-ish values influence politics or the way we live our lives here in America lawfully, it's false logic, because we already do that. We just draw the line somewhere else than you would prefer that we draw it.
Mm-hmm.
So, we do need a structure. We need definitely more of a structure than we have. What does that look like? I don't know. I'm not a legislator, but what I do know is that we do need to, I hate to use the word enforce morality, but we do need to set a standard for morality and set a standard for what behaviors are okay and what behaviors aren't. And both liberalism and libertarianism, I think, get it wrong.
Yeah, I think that, dude, that's like the fundamental foundation of any civilized society, is where the people get together. We all see something that we don't like, right? Like, I mean, back in horse and buggy days, right? Like, I mean, you can't just go speeding through on your fucking horse. People are like, hey, that's dangerous. We got to have something in place to where we don't get ran over by fucking John in his cart. You know what I'm saying? We agree on certain things in society, and those things, as society moves forward, they evolve with society. Right now, we have stop signs and red lights, so people don't just run through those. And hey, guess what? If you violate that, there are repercussions. You get tickets, or you got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's things in place. And so you can't just say, live and let live and have a laissez-faire society, because it.
Well, that's how we got here. That's how we're here.
Right.
We all of us who have a certain agreeable moral standard and core values, what we call common sense, we have allowed the current environment to manifest by taking the high road and turning the other cheek and saying, well, as long as you're not bothering me, do whatever you want. But now we've seen what that creates. And so there does have to be some agreed upon common sense, civilized value system in place. And I never thought about it like what you just said, dude. That's a very, very strong point.
Well, and it's interesting too, because America is really an interesting experiment, because throughout history, countries were divided along religious lines. You'd have Israel, Jewish country. You'd have this one, it's a Muslim country, Christian country, whatever. Now you have kind of a melting pot, as we've been told, growing up, that America's the melting pot. And it's like, well, that's never happened before. And so when you mix a bunch of people together in a place where we all don't agree on morality, what do you expect to happen? Conflict. And so how do we rectify that? How do we reconcile the fact that we don't agree on what morality is? Like, we're never going to fully agree, because everyone subscribes to a different thing. Morality is largely subjective in this country. You have Christians that believe the Christian thing. You even have Christians that believe totally different things within Christianity, and Muslims believe different things. Jewish people believe different things, and then atheists believe different things. So it's like, how do you choose what America abides by? Because it has to abide by something.
Well, we have two choices. There's two choices. One choice is all of us get together and say, this is allowed, this is not allowed.
How it should be.
This is okay, this is not okay. And I'm talking about Muslims, Christians, Jews, whatever. All of us that are going to inhabit this country, we say, okay, murder is wrong. Molesting kids is wrong. Pedophilia is wrong. taxes are wrong. Okay, we're going to throw that in there too. All right. And we can do that. Or we can have violence. And the majority of the people can kill the rest of the people, which is what has happened throughout history over and over again. And that's where we're headed right now. We're headed there right now because we're unable to have a civilized conversation or get anything agreed upon. And what's scary and what is interesting to me is that it's the people who are least equipped to deal with violence who are leading us down the road of violence. Okay? It is people who cannot fight. They are weak. They are sickly. They are not socially normal. Okay? And we're allowing the tail to wag the dog and lead us down this path of chaotic violence that, at this point may or may not be avoidable. If we can create some sort of unity this year, which I think is happening. I think that's starting to happen. We're starting to see people who are Muslim and black and white and all these different cultures sort of figure out like, oh yeah, we're remembering, hey, we're America. And that's beautiful, dude. That's what the fuck it's all about. That's what I love.
Calling something gay is coming back. Like we can talk about whatever we want now. Like I saw Elon Musk make some joke that 5 years ago you not be able to say.
People are worn out by the fucking
100%.
Rules. Like walking around on eggshells. And that I think it's almost a point that's unifying everybody. People are tired of walking around on eggshells. They're tired of being screamed at by little nerds who couldn't do that in person, right? They're tired of being told by middle class, middle upper class white women that they're oppressors and colonizers. Shut the fuck up. And that's where everybody's at. Shut the fuck up.
I'm about to press you.
And that's and dude, it's great because that's where you need to be. America cannot be America without fuck you. That is the truth. Because to have freedom, you have to have fuck you. All right? You have to be able to say, I don't like what you do, and then say, fuck you. That's what freedom is. So you can't have it without that. You know what I'm saying? You cannot do it without that. And we're starting to get back to that. And that's a healthy thing. Hey, you don't like what I'm doing? I don't give a shit. And that feels good. That feels a lot better than saying, oh man, if I tell a joke that, happens to involve gay people or black people or I make fun of white people for not seasoning their food, like, bro, f off. We don't care anymore. No one cares. Nope. No one cares.
Sure don't.
We're all out here in the real world. We're getting along. You're on the internet. You're in a fantasy land. You don't even leave your fucking mom's basement. You've had everything paid for you your whole life. You're at an Ivy League school, which we've all figured out the dumbest motherfuckers in the world come from. So fuck off.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things, too, to your point, Andy, that's helping move this movement of unity further is the blatant hypocrisy that we're seeing in the world, right? Like in this country specifically, right? And just here's one. I mean, we've showed countless of examples of this stuff, but here's an update for you guys. This is pertaining to the Trump trial going on in New York City. Not sure if you guys saw this. But in a very wild, unprecedented ruling, the judge just instructed the jury that they do not have to unanimously agree on what crime Trump actually committed, allegedly. This is like, listen, you talk about, I think, the scales of justice. Everybody's seen that little statue, right? You got Lady Justice holding the two scales. Bro, she dropped them bitches. Be like it like our legal system, bro.
Well, this is what happens in communism, bro.
It is done.
It is or it isn't. It is or it isn't. It depends on what happens here. But this is what communism does. Communism finds the man and then finds the crime, not has the crime and then accuses it of the appropriate person. So that's what they're doing with Trump. There's this guy, find something on him, and they haven't found anything on him. So now the judge is taking it a step further and said, you guys convict him on anything, but we need a conviction.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
And like there was a total of like 4 charges or 4 possible charges that, they presented him with. The judge did throw out 1. So there's 3, right? So you got a room full of jurors. And basically what the judge just told them is that, hey, if you believe he's guilty of crime A, you can believe he's guilty of crime B, you can believe he's guilty of crime C. Out of all of you guys, as long as you guys think he's guilty of one of those, that's it. Like, in what world?
In this one.
In what world?
Yeah, but
man?
this comes from us. This is our fault. Okay, we're the ones for the last 15 years, 20 years, we fucking said, oh, that's okay. Whatever, man. Like, oh, your kid gets a 15th place trophy. Whatever, man. Oh, we're going to remove the Pledge of Allegiance. Whatever. Oh, can't say this or that, even though it's true. And that's what's gotten us here, bro. We did it to ourselves. And now we're in a situation where we are at a tipping point. We are at a point where we are going to find out which direction the country is going to go. At this point, the way I see it, I don't think there's any way that there's anything they can do besides flip the game table over and cause mass chaos. And what I mean by that is turn the power off, turn the internet off for an extended period of time, have some sort of mass violence, which like I said months ago, is going to be between the migrants and the citizens this summer. That's coming. I don't think they can win anymore. I think the momentum is too strong, and it's only gaining for Trump. Like, it's every single day we see more and more and more and more and more people who even 4 years ago were like, fuck Donald Trump, coming out and saying, I'm for Trump. 2 years
ago saying fuck
That's
Donald
what I'm
Trump.
saying, dude.
100,000 people in the Bronx?
Bro. And did you see the diversity of the group?
Bro.
It was black, white, Hispanic, Puerto Rican. Like, it was fucking everybody. It was awesome. Even on CNN, they said, one of the women said, well, it really looked like America. Well, that's because it is, motherfucker. You guys live in this fucking white liberal nonsense bubble with all the PC black people who are racist as fuck. And there's like 2 groups of people that live up there in the tower and they hate everybody else. And here's what I can't understand. How do they not see what they're doing to themselves? Because, dude, that judge, if this dude gets back in power, which he probably will unless they do something crazy, that judge is going to go to jail forever.
Mm-hmm. As he should.
Yeah, he should. No, I mean, he shouldn't.
He should.
No, he should go to the gallows. But
the only concern that I have with all this Trump stuff, and I really try not to focus too much on this. Yes, I like Trump. Yes, I will vote for Trump. But there's too much stock in Trump. Like the very same way that the liberals are obsessed with Donald Trump, so are the Republicans.
Well, I think there's a segment of the Republicans. I would push back on that a little bit. I think there are people that look at him like the Messiah, and then I think there's a whole bunch of more people that are like, he's the best we got right now.
He is the best option.
True.
I agree with that.
True. But okay, Trump, then what?
You won't find an argument for me there.
Right. Yeah. Like people aren't activated. People have no agency. Like there's nobody after Trump. Like, let's say they convict him. Then what? Where are we at?
Well, I mean, I think that's a fair question.
Right. We have to put our eggs in.
Well, that's
baskets.
why we need to be gearing up for 2028 right now.
Yes.
The leaders, the next round of leaders, which in my opinion should be guys in their mid 40s to mid 50s, not fucking 80 years old. And we see those people coming around, you know what I'm saying? But no, I agree. And nobody should be worshiped like that. Like nobody, not Obama, not Trump, not anybody. Like these are politicians, dude. They're here to serve. And I actually think the group that worships Trump gives the entire Trump base a stigma that is hard to shake.
100%.
Because if you say like what you just said, like, I'm going to vote for Trump. People are like, oh, you fucking Trump dick sucker. Like, no, dude, I don't want to fucking lose our motherfucking country. There's plenty of things that Donald Trump has done I don't agree with. Plenty. But if you think I'm voting for this fucking idiot, you're crazy.
Right.
Dude, and most of the people don't understand, like if you go up to him and you ask him, who are you going to vote for? And they say, I'm going to vote. I hate Joe Biden, but I'm going to vote for him because he's better than the alternative. Those people don't understand what we're dealing with. This is not politics as usual. This is not, in this case here, this court case is a prime example of that. That's not normal.
No, that's nothing about that is normal.
Yeah, like, dude, and more people are waking up to this. Like, Democrats are waking up. They're like, fuck, dude, this actually is communism. And this is a communist revolution that we are living through right now. And it's undetermined who's going to come out on top. But if we as American citizens do not stand up and do not unite and do not say, fuck you, they will win. And we will become a communist country and we will be in deep shit. Right now, the way the country is right today, it already is communist. Because that shit couldn't happen in America, what's happening to Donald Trump. And this is happening. It's not going to happen. This is happening, right? When the FBI raids Mar-a-Lago and it comes out that they staged the photographs and they put top secret file on top of shit that wasn't top secret, and then they posted it to the internet. That is communism, bro. That is, hey, that's political persecution, okay? And the reason that Trump keeps saying presidents need immunity,
it's not for him.
No, that's right.
It's not for him.
It isn't for him. People are not understanding this. They think it's for him, but it's not for him. He's saying this to be on record so that when he gets back in power, he could say, I told you, and now you're fucked. And dude, if you read Trump, like there's this book by Trump, and by the way, I don't care what you think of Trump. You should read every book that he ever wrote because they're fucking great, especially for business. But he wrote this book called Think Big and Kick Ass. And an entire chapter in Think Big and Kick Ass is about when people fuck with you, you fuck them back 10 times harder. Like there's a whole chapter on it. So like he writes a book about how he does things. So like if you think he's going to get back in power and just like let these dudes do whatever, bro, there's no way. He's going to bury him.
100%, man. Guys, jumping on this conversation down in the comments. Let us know what you guys think. With that being said, let's go check some of these out. This first comment comes from RPM Freak 9150. Andy, DJ, y'all stay safe, guys. I just went through a tornado right outside of St. Louis, and they're breaking out everywhere. Be safe.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
Bro, I was just talking to the guys out in the gym this morning because we're out of power right now still. And we've been out of power since like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock yesterday. But like I can't remember a spring where it's been storm after storm after storm after storm, tornado after tornado. Like usually it's just like rain.
Yeah, right.
Like steady rain. Like I can't remember the last time we had a rainy day. Like it's just these massive, crazy storms. I think they're targeting me with fucking HARP.
That's what it is, bro.
Yeah.
It's Trump's fault.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got, I mean, like
that Chinese weather balloon, bro. It flew over my house.
That's what it was. Because, man, you're down in Florida. I mean, I know Florida gets some crazy weather and shit like that, but you guys don't get tornadoes and shit, do you?
No, we get hurricanes, but the craziest, I was just saying this to my wife, the crazy thing about tornadoes is like with a hurricane, you got days to prepare for it. Like, you know it's coming, you know how strong it is, you know whether or not it's going to, generally speaking, whether or not it's going to hit you. With a tornado, it's just like, I'm here, motherfucker.
Yeah. They just come out of nowhere.
Yeehaw. Yeah. Yeah, dude, the shit's been crazy, man. We lost our power too, man. It's just been like, and it was like, just crazy. It is crazy.
What do y'all do when there's no power?
What do we do?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I didn't sleep. I slept like shit.
I did too because it was
hot, right? And it's just fucking hot. I got to sleep with a fan on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got like a
That's big boy stuff.
Yeah, bro.
I know what that's about.
Got a fan.
Yeah.
Put that AC on.
No, bro.
70.
I still do the big boy stuff when I sleep.
Yeah, bro. That's the only way I can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was hot. You know what I'm saying? My balls were sticking to my thighs.
Yeah.
Brings you back, doesn't it?
To what?
Never mind.
Oh. Hey, listen. If anybody, I ain't having no bad jokes. I'm passing them to Matt today.
Well, I don't think you've told any. I think you're.
I'm all right. Yeah. I mean, hey, listen, we still got a lot of show left, but we're gonna try. But no, man. Like, I mean, these storms have been fucking insane. They have been insane. I don't know what that is about, but we appreciate that RPM Freak. We'll try to stay safe and trust the science of tornadoes. We got another comment here. Let's I promise a little trolling action.
I see it.
So this comment comes from at Jamie Gill. Blah, 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 clown, don't worry. Rich people don't pay taxes. Republicans have made sure of that. So apparently people are not understanding your stance on tax. And I've seen a few comments like this. They're like, oh, but I don't pay 40% of the income taxes. Yeah, it's not just income taxes you're talking about. But Mr. Jamie Gill here, this guy, this is him. All right, I'm not even playing. This
Nice cleavage, bro.
Nice douche stash.
I actually think his mustache all right.
Mustache?
It's got a little swag. I give credit.
I would not let him around my kids.
Well,
would you let him around your son?
I wouldn't let anybody around me, period. I just don't like people. But I don't mind the mustache. The cleavage.
It's really not the mustache that's doing for me. It's the earring.
Yeah.
The earring? Okay.
It's the cleavage. Yeah. Anyway. Well, I mean, we could address this. Rich people don't pay taxes. Well, what's your definition of rich people? Okay, because the way that they want you to believe is they want you to believe people like me are the rich people that don't pay taxes. You know, the ones that come up in the community and build companies and employ their communities, you know, with hundreds of jobs locally. Those people pay taxes. The ones that sponsor your fucking T-ball team and your kids' football team, and they, you know, rebuild the neighborhoods and, you know, all the shit we do. They clean them up, you know. Those people pay a lot of tax. A fucking lot.
Taxes even do that.
Yeah. The rich people you're referring to, Jamie, are people like Jeff Bezos and people like at the very, very top who are worth $50+ billion, whose tax liability is literally zero because they grease the palms of the politicians in Washington, D.C. All right. They make sure they don't pay taxes. They use every loophole possible. So when the Democrats say rich people, they want you to think about people like me or other entrepreneurs that you see driving a nice car up and down the street that you're like, look at that rich motherfucker, which is a fault of your own, which is probably why you're not rich. But that's the trick there. The trick is when they talk about rich people, they make you think they're talking about your local entrepreneur when in reality, it's the people at the very, 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 very top that don't pay any tax at all. So that's, you know, that's cool. Blah, blah, blah. You know, like, I don't know. That's, you know, Republicans made sure of that. That's not a Republican. That's not even a Republic. Why do all those people? Hold on. Thing. Why does every person that's worth fucking $20 billion or more vote Democrat?
Right.
Why is that? You think that's because they're Republicans? Bro,
I remember when Trump called it out when he was doing the debate with Hillary.
Huh?
You remember when Trump called that out when he was doing the debate with Hillary? He was like, you know, she talks about these taxes and, you know, all these taxes. Like, she's not doing it for the same reason I wouldn't do it, is because all of her donors use the exact same tax loopholes that I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all use it. Like, I mean, they're like this idea that it's a one-sided, like, you know, only one side. Like, bro, Nancy Pelosi, do you know how much she's fucking worth? You know how many taxes she pays?
Yeah. Well, hold on.
None.
So the other thing is, you said we got other comments saying what? I don't pay 40% tax?
No, people were like, yeah, people were saying that they didn't pay 40%.
The fuck you don't.
Right.
You don't know how to do math. What do you pay when you go to the store? What do you pay at the end of the year on your house? What do you pay fucking when you get gas? What do you pay whenever you buy alcohol or cigarettes? Okay, add all that shit up. Add all of that up. And then tell me you don't pay 40%, because every fucking American in this fucking country that pays tax pays more than that. In fact, most of them pay more than 50% of their income. So
we added it up on the show before.
If you're too dumb to do math or understand what I'm saying, I can't help you, bro. I can fucking lead you to the well. I can't force you to drink. But you are paying more than that. And the people who do create the jobs, the people who do sponsor your kids' fucking teams and all this shit and build the neighborhoods and, you know, give charity and fucking feed the homeless and all this shit, the shit that we do, I do, our company does, our companies do. Those people pay the most tax. Amazon ain't sponsoring your team. They're not out on the street cleaning it up. They're not out here taking care of the community. Those people don't pay shit.
No.
So. Yeah, so Jamie, I can appreciate your attempt to troll, but you know, if you could call me a clown all you want, especially if I'm wearing a wrestling singlet in my profile pic. Nerd.
Oh fuck.
I mean, dude, you're just uninformed, bro.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And I think that's the other part of it too, man. Like,
yeah.
It's so intentional. That shit is left out of our school systems. Yeah. It's left out. And so people are like, bro,
listen, this guy's just repeating shit that his fucking union buddies are repeating for his whole life. I would bet that guy works a union job and has been told his entire life that Republicans are shit and Democrat. Why are all the union guys voting for Trump this year? Because they're starting to figure out they've been lied to. The Democrat is not the party of the working class. It is not. It hasn't been ever. They just pretend to be.
Yeah. That's real shit, man.
Yeah.
Jamie. I don't even know who fucking spells Jamie like that. It's fucking weird. I had to give him something.
Look, man. I mean, it didn't bother me. I'm getting called a clown by a dude literally wearing a fucking wrestling singlet. Okay? So it is what it is.
Guys, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you guys for being real ass fans.
It's got to be hard to be celibate.
We appreciate you guys. Keep liking, keep commenting, and keep sharing the show. On a more interestingly serious note, we got headline number 2. Headline number 2 reads, mysterious shooting outside Army Special Forces residence in North Carolina raises questions. Now, this is a very, very, very weird topic. Weird story coming out of North Carolina. But apparently it's one that's been happening quite often. And we might even have some personal knowledge of this.
Oh, dude, this is that thing?
Yeah.
Dude, this is crazy. All right, cool.
Yeah. So let's dive into this. So the Fox News article reading, a mysterious shooting in North Carolina north of Fort Liberty, formerly Fort Bragg, not far from where some of America's most elite U.S. Special Operation Forces live and train, is under investigation by the Army Criminal Investigation Division as well as local police. The shooting in Carthage, North Carolina occurred May 3rd at 8:15 p.m. following a phone call about a suspected trespasser near a Special Forces soldier's property. 2 Chechen men who spoke broken English were found near the soldier's home. The family alleges the suspected intruder, 35-year-old Ramzan Darav of Chicago, was taking photos of their children. When confronted near a power line in a wooded part of the property, an altercation ensued and Darav was shot several times at close range. A second man, Dejashatufav,
Also of Chicago.
was
yeah. Because there's lots of Degardikoffs, Assalans in fucking Chicago.
Bro, I know like 12 of them.
Yeah.
A second
Which
guy
one?
named AK-47.
Yeah.
Is,
Oh, you thought that was funny, huh?
Oh, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
right.
That was a good one. Was in a vehicle some distance from the incident and was questioned by authorities and then released. The Moore County Sheriff's Office is leading the investigation. The FBI had told Fox News, quote, law enforcement partners at the Moore County Sheriff's Office contacted the FBI after a shooting death in Carthage. A special agent met with investigators and provided a linguist to assist with a language barrier for interviews. Sheriff Ronnie Fields said in a statement, quote, the caller indicated that an individual was observed taking photographs on the property and had become aggressive towards a resident outside their home. The deceased was found approximately 250 yards from the roadway along a power line on the residential property. Identification was not initially found on Darav. However, his identity was later confirmed through family members and an international identification located in his vehicle. The shooter has been identified as a colonel with the U.S. Army who resided at the location of the shooting. U.S. Special Operations soldiers around the country have experienced strange interactions in recent years that they say involve suspicious surveillance of them and their families. Many believe that U.S. military bases may have become an increasing target of foreign probes. Now, again, this has been going on. Now, in a separate incident, this happened about 18 months ago in Moore County. There was another mysterious shooting attack that targeted 2 electrical distribution substations that left about 40,000 residents, most of whom are in military or special operations communities, without power for almost 2 weeks. There was an investigation that yielded nothing. Very, very suspicious. And this also comes right at the end before we get into discussions about this. This comes right before a U.S. Navy commander has just come out and said that Russian and Chinese nationals are trying to enter U.S. Navy bases in America every single week. He just did an interview on Fox News. Here's the clip.
Some of them just crossed the border. What's going on?
Well, this thing of our military bases getting penetrated by foreign nationals is happening more and more. This is something we see probably 2 or 3 times a week where we're stopping these folks at the gate.
A week
a week at least. And this is just Navy alone. where we're seeing folks try to come in. And usually the cover story is, and I'm a student, I'm here, I'm an enthusiast, I want to see the ships, that type of thing. We have to turn them around. And typically we get NCIS involved with those, and we get biometrics when possible. But yes, there's been an uptick in that.
Do they have passports? Do they have?
A lot of times they have passports.
Papers?
They have papers, yes. But they're in no way, shape, or form authorized to be on our base. And it's really hard for us to tell the underlying motive for these type of cases.
Wow, that's stunning.
It is.
It's got to be a concern.
This is Russian, Chinese. It comes from all these different nations. We're seeing an uptick in it.
In addition to that, there's been some reporting on this over the last 6 months. You're getting 2 or 3.
Yeah, so that comes from Admiral Daryl Caudle, who is a commander for U.S. Fleet Forces Command. So you got all of this stuff happening, man. Do we got anything on this, guys?
I do. They're missing the mark on what this actually is. What do you think?
Well, I'm no chess master, but just looking at the board as it's being played out, the biggest threat to the people in power would be those in special forces. No, so targeting them would probably be a good idea. No, that's just what I'm inferring from this. I mean, if I was...
Well, if we got them taking pictures of the kids, that's leverage.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll kill your fucking family.
Right. If I'm the bad guy that does bad things, I'm going to target our most capable and strong and most skilled at violence individuals and, do as many bad things to them as I possibly can.
Yeah. All right. So I have experience with this. Just going to say that. As you guys know, we've talked about this a number of times on the show. I have full security detail because I deal with crazy fucking people all the time. And usually it's harmless stuff. Usually it's people who are having some sort of manic episode or they think I'm talking to them through the podcast personally or some shit. And they show up and, we got to turn them away and then they don't go away. So they end up going to psych evaluation, stuff like that. However, there have been a few instances where there was real threats. And there was a time, what would you say, about a year and a half ago, right?
June 2022.
Yeah. So
almost
2 years.
Yeah.
So 2 years ago, June 2022, we had a guy who pulled up to my gate. I live in a gated community, and there's 2 gates. I have a gate to get into my community. I have a gate to get to my house. Somehow he had made it into the gate to my community and was at the front gate at my house, and he was driving a van, and it was a shitty van. He was dressed in a full cable outfit as a cable guy. Started walking up my driveway, parked his van at the bottom of the hill, couldn't get in the gate, started walking up my driveway. Clearly didn't know that we had security on the property. Runs into the security on the property. They obviously are like, they take this very seriously. Like, if you come to my house, bro, you're probably going to get something shoved in your face that you don't like. And it ain't a dick. Okay?
That's after.
Yeah, that's after.
There's a picture for you guys.
Yeah, so pulls up in this van here, comes on the property, meets a security team.
Well, he started taking pictures.
Yeah, he was taking pictures.
Taking pictures of the property.
Taking pictures of the property. The security team says, hey, what are you doing? He says, in a Russian accent or Ukrainian accent, very broken English, he says, oh, I'm here to fix the cable. Mm-hmm. They're like, you have any ID? He's like, no. And they're like, okay, well, you got to go. And he didn't want to go.
Oh, you got real, like very, like it was calmly assertive, but like.
He wasn't leaving.
He didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
No.
Even with the security team there.
Right.
So things happened and he ended up leaving. And with our capabilities, without saying too much, we have the ability to know who came from where and where they came from by just getting a picture of their license plate, which we were able to do. And we were able to figure out that this guy had driven directly from California to a cash-only motel in North St. Louis to my house. After he was turned away, he drove back to California directly. So he came from California to my house for a specific reason, And then once he didn't get to do whatever he was there to do, he went back there. And what you guys need to understand is that you watch these movies and you think that the FBI or the fucking whoever, the 3-letter agencies, or when the government wants to fuck with you, you think that they send like their operatives to fuck with you. That's not what they do. They hire criminals to come fuck with you. And we've had a number of those as well. That wasn't the only one.
Like verifiable.
We've had other ones.
Yeah.
But this story that happened to me is almost identical to what happened there.
Very identical.
Yeah. A broken English, it was weird because I had those guys here from the Censorship Coalition.
Yeah.
So you guys know my page got deleted. There's these guys that have a censorship coalition that they've put together, which we're going to talk more about. I'm probably going to have them on the show. But they were aware that my page got deleted, and they understood that it was political targeting. And they actually flew here last week to meet with me to get all the details so that it could be given to Representative Jim Jordan and Eric Schmidt and the guys that are fighting censorship in Washington. And there's a very good chance that I might actually go to Capitol Hill on this. But they flew here, and I was telling them, were you there when I told them the story?
No, I think I was out the room. Yeah.
So DJ was in most of the meeting, but I told him this story, and I could tell one of the guys, I had just met these guys, one of the guys was like I could tell he thought I was full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And was so funny because this story came out that night. And I texted to him and I said, this is exactly what the fuck they did to me. And so like, dude, this is how these people operate. They don't operate like you think they do. They don't come in with their suits and ties like it's the fucking Matrix and say, Mr. Anderson, you're fucking don't do this. That's not what they do. They hire criminals to harass you and fuck with you and probably murder you in some cases.
Yeah, that's where it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's what I see this as. I see this as them gathering intel or intentionally looking to harm that person's family. And yeah, so that's what it is. It's not some random Chechens fucking with these dudes. It's not some foreign government fucking with these dudes either. It's our government fucking with our own special forces and American patriots in our country. That's what's happening.
100%.
Yeah.
I see it the same way. Like I said, I mean, you know, I like to be a very practical person when it comes to stuff like this, you know, but it's like, you know, and we've had, like you said, a few situations where it's like,
well, like that other one where we got the fucking gate jammed.
Yeah. Yeah. And you backlog that and see where that goes to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, but like, you know, typically, you know, you like to believe that the simple answer is always that's always what it is. Whatever the simplest decision, like that's it, right? That's the answer. You know, and like, and I try to abide by that for the most part, but like, dude, like a lot of the times, man, the shit just doesn't, it makes zero sense. And there is no simple answer. And so then you start opening doors, and then this door leads you down to the hallway, then there's 3 more doors, and you open up that door, and there's 5 more doors, right? It's just this never-ending web of bullshit, man, and it all leads back to one place, you know? And so could they be doing this to get leverage? 100%, right? 100%. You're a strong, you're a special forces operator, you know, and next thing you know, you get a manila envelope sent to you
with pictures of your kids. Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're probably a little cautious about what you want to say or do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we know that, you know, this colonel, how do we know he wasn't, you know, a grassroots, you know, patriot?
I'm sure he is a patriot, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Most of the people that are in the military joined because they're patriots. And up until 2021, when they kicked them all the fuck out over this vaccine shit.
Right. Right. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he was having too many, you know, what he thought were closed door conversations.
There is no closed door conversation.
There's no such thing, you know, and this veil of privacy that we think we have as Americans, it doesn't exist.
No, well, that's a whole nother problem. That's a whole nother problem. You guys are being monitored in your own home. You don't even realize it.
Yeah.
They're recording everything. You have an Alexa system in your house. They're recording everything you say. If you have a cell phone within fucking distance of hearing your voice, they're recording everything you say. If you have a television with a camera or a computer with a camera, they're recording everything you fucking say. And not just when they want to, all the time. That's what people don't understand.
Right.
And it all goes on a data stream, which is stored in fucking Germany. That is real shit. There is an entire backup of the internet that is stored in Germany that has every email, every phone call, every picture, every text conversation, every voice conversation that has ever been fucking had, ever, is stored. How do you think they come out with this shit randomly
years
with
after,
these clips of incriminating audio This isn't like, oh, they decided to record the conversation. No, they go find it. So like, dude, this is how they leverage the world. This is how they blackmail the world into doing what the fuck they get it to do.
Well, you guys saw that Diddy video, right? Of him abusing that girl?
Yeah.
That happened, what, 8 years ago?
Yeah.
Where was that this entire time?
Well, that's because he was useful to them.
Exactly.
And he's no longer useful to them.
The moment they don't need you no more, they
burn you.
They got you.
Yeah, because then if he comes out, that's their way of preventing him to come out and say, hey, this is what these fuckers did to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they discredit him by making it, and by the way, obviously he's a shitbag, but they discredit him first before he has a chance to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, so this very well could be an example.
That's why we do this. The truth is this. This is why we have to get over cancel culture. Because at any fucking time, in any situation, every single fucking human in the history of Earth that is currently alive, these motherfuckers, you have done something that you don't want people to know. You have a pain point. You have a pressure point. There's something that you did or said or that you're not proud of that you don't want people to know, and they know that. And so we have to get over that as society and get to the realization of we're all compromised. We're all fucking compromised by these people. So like, it is what the fuck it is. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. You guys aren't perfect. Listening.
Very unifying too.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Hey, fuck, if we all see each other's dicks, it ain't no big deal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, it's a little small, but all right.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, that's where we got to get to. We got to get to the point where it's like, well, fuck it.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like crazy shit, like you're fucking molesting kids or some shit.
Right.
Right.
But I think that's a dangerous part of it too, man. Well, and like to your point too, like, even if you feel like you don't have something, do you have kids? Do you have, what I'm saying? Everybody is going to have a pressure point, but I think this also lends to, to this next phase of, I think, this turn humanity's taken in with all this AI shit. You know what I'm saying? So now we're at a point now where it's like they're blurring the lines of what's even real.
Bro, I've seen a ton. Dude, I've seen legitimate voice mixes of myself for motivation that are on the internet. That shit that I did not say. That they took my voice, they made a motivational reel out of it, and I watched it. I'm like, when did I say that? And I'm like, wait, that sounds a little bit off. I'm like, holy fuck.
Damn.
They're doing that already. Dude, there's a million Andrew Tate videos that are AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's improved a lot in the last year. Well, imagine 5 years down the road.
Like, a year ago, it was choppy. You could tell. Now it's like, it sounds real. Dude, there's real there's fake Rogan clips.
No, this is the part that's going to get you. That's what we have access to.
Right.
Imagine what
they've had access to the last 20 years.
Exactly. That's my point, man. That's my point. So, dude, it's scary shit.
Dude, listen, a lot of it, I don't know how you it's like putting toothpaste back in the tube. How do you fucking fix it? How do you go backwards after the shit's already out?
Well, I think that's an unrealistic expectation that I think everybody needs to just get on the same page with as well. There is no going back.
Yeah.
What do we do now? How do we move past this? How do we remedy whatever? But we're not going. 2020, we're never going back to. We're not.
We could if we killed all those people.
It would still never be the same, man. Because society is going to when the repercussions of
it would still be better if we did that.
It's gonna be better for sure, but it won't be the same. You know what I'm saying? Bro.
No, it'll be better.
It would be much better, but you know what I'm saying? But there's the damages. There's gonna to get this shit back together. It's gonna be some dark days, and there's gonna be people that won't be okay with that. That's fine, but nobody's gonna be able to forget it either. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be some real shit that happens to move this shit forward. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes, man. Guys, jump in on this conversation. Down in the comments, let us know what you guys think about this situation over in North Carolina. With that being said, let's get to our third and final headline. We got headline number 3. Surprise, surprise. Joe Biden. Joe Biden makes a surprise nighttime visit to Hunter's ex, Hallie Biden, days before she testifies in first son's gun trial. Now, this is interesting. This is interesting. All right. So we got this is a New York Post article reading. President Biden made a surprise nighttime visit to the Delaware home of Hallie Biden on Sunday, just before she's due to serve one of the most important witnesses at first son Hunter Biden's federal trial for alleged gun crimes. Biden stopped by Haley's home around 8 p.m. for a brief private talk 8 days before the 54-year-old first son's trial is scheduled to stand trial beginning June 3rd. Haley dated Hunter at the time of his alleged gun crimes and is one of a dozen expected witnesses. Prosecutors allege Hunter lied about his drug use on gun purchase forms and then briefly illegally possessed at least one weapon, which Haley disposed of in a public dumpster in 2018. The White House did not disclose the reason for the president's brief visit around 8 p.m., although many commentators noted the awkward optics due to the looming trial. The visit came 4 days before the anniversary of Beau's death. Now, that's what they're trying to say because Haley also dated the other son who passed away back in 2016, I believe. So he's facing the possibility of prison time in his first two scheduled criminal trials. He's also on trial for another case in Los Angeles that starts in September for allegedly failing to pay more than $1.4 million in federal taxes from 2016 to 2019. Now, this obviously, I think, just even looking at it, it sounds a little fishy, right? This is witness tampering, bare minimum. Okay, it's out of the norm. Shouldn't happen, and not to mention, he doesn't visit her at all. You know what I'm saying? So you just magically want to show up to go see your estranged ex-daughter-in-law days before. Okay, weird. But here's the bigger story that nobody's talking about. That's not the only off the book visits that Biden has been having. There's another one that just came out. This headline reads, Joe and Hunter Biden used a visit to Sandy Hook Memorial Service to set up secret meet with Chinese over $10 million a year deal. New emails reveal. So Hunter Biden used Joe Biden's appearance at a Sandy Hook Memorial Service. You know, the school that was shot up there. They have memorial services every year. Hunter Biden used that event to arrange a secret meeting between his dad and his Chinese business partners, as new text reveal. The message comes from a fresh tranche of documents released by Congress on Wednesday, given to them by IRS agents who investigated the first son. On December 12th, 2017, Hunter wrote on the Chinese messaging app WeChat to Liu Yadong, a top executive at Chinese oil giant CEFC, to arrange a meeting with his father. Where's the proof? Here's the proof. Quote, can you meet this evening early? My father will be in New York also, and he wants me to attend the Sandy Hook Memorial Service with him, and I would like him to meet you along with my uncle, and then you and I can talk. Let me know if that works. I'm sorry for the late notice. I got off the red eye in Baltimore from LA and take a little nap before I got this message. To which the response from Lou was, quote, no problem. Please let me know where and when to meet. Thanks. So, all this stuff about gun violence. His son has a gun charge. And then these motherfuckers use a memorial service that they love to use to tout gun safety. I mean, the irony in all of this. But they use the memorial service to set up and arrange a meeting for these off-the-book quid pro quo bribes. Andy, guys, what do we got on this?
Well, I mean, it's just more evidence that these people are obviously compromised by China, and I know that meeting, I think we all know what happened at that meeting with the ex is basically she probably was threatened that if you say this is what's going to happen to you. That's how these people operate. That, Joe Biden's, these people don't fuck with the Bidens. Like, that's how they operate. They operate like
they think they're a mafia family, bro.
Yeah, they do. And they're a bunch of fucking pussies. That's the problem.
Cokeheads.
Yeah.
Surprised they didn't send a little Chechen person to handle it.
Dude, I'm sick of them acting like they're some badass motherfuckers, bro.
Yeah.
You guys are a bunch of fucking nerds. Your dad can't even talk. He's stupid as fuck. Okay? You guys fucking rape the United States as hard as possible. You're probably the biggest treasonous pieces of shit that have lived in our country in the last fucking 100 years with Obama. Okay, like nobody likes you, nobody respects you. You've cheated to get in an office. You've ruined the country. Like, bro, people hate you guys. Like, your dad. It is what it is. I mean, People that voted for you hate you. So it's just more evidence.
And they're stupid. Like, why would you send the president of the United States to handle this witness tampering situation? Like, as if his every move is not tracked and it wouldn't get out to the public. Like,
well, it shows you how important it is to him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm gonna go myself under the guise of like. Here's the thing. Like, I mean, like I said, people try to. Oh, well, he went there to comfort her on the anniversary of her ex-husband's death. Listen, bro. After she went and fucked your other son, I don't think she really. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not buying it, bro. I'm not buying it.
Nobody's buying it.
Nobody's buying it.
Nobody's buying it. People are going along with it because he's the president. Okay, but like, dude, look, their time's coming. Their time's coming, dude. There's too many people that know what's going on. There's too many people that recognize what's going on. There's too many people that understand that these people have taken tons of money from different interest groups, especially China, to make decisions that are not in the interest of the American people. People are waking up to that. They understand that. And, I think these people are going to try to cheat again, or they're going to try to flip the game table over because they believe that they're still fooling people. Like, they believe that when they go up there and say the shit that they say, like when Joe Biden goes on stage and says, Bidenomics is working, they believe people are believing that. And then they act confused as to why their poll numbers are going down. Like, they're prosecuting Trump for all this crazy shit. They have Joe Biden authorizing the use of deadly force on a Mar-a-Lago raid for fucking what? For papers, right? Like, dude, these people are out of control. They're out of fucking control, and they need to be fucking dealt with. And really, dude, if we had a military that was totally intact, that was honoring the fucking oath that they take, these people would already be in jail. You guys would have already arrested them. That's the truth. And everybody I've talked to in the military, personally, they all agree. And you know what they say? Well, the higher ups. Well, eventually, you know what? The higher ups are part of it. So at a certain point in time, the common person, the common people, the sheriff's departments, the police departments, the military, the fucking good people in the 3-letter agencies, you guys all got to get together and say, this is fucking crazy. Like, uphold your oath, because they're not doing it. They're just not.
And the evidence is overwhelming, man.
Bro, I hate this. Like, I hate seeing his fucking face. Like that crooked ass smile that he always does. And like, dude, the guy's shitting his pants everywhere he goes. Like, I mean, look at this picture. Like, dude, he's just an angry old douchebag.
Did you hear him? He spoke at West Point's graduation.
What did he say?
Did you see that video? Oh, should I play it real quick? Give me 1 second.
I mean, the fact that this dude is even, like, it's an embarrassment to our country, dude. Like, legit.
I mean, he's really the only person that can be controlled and puppeteered the way that he is.
Dude, every single thing that he does, every single talk that he does, every single question and answer session, every single public appearance is completely controlled environment.
Yeah. He even said pause.
Dude, there's a hand-selected crowd, hand-selected questions. He is prepped on the questions. He is prepped on the answers. Like, this guy is a complete figurehead for, I think, Obama.
Of 100%.
Yeah.
The entire thing is theater. It's just all made up. Everything's fake. All the journalists in there are there for a reason.
Yeah, and you got Trump going around, in front of crowds that are booing him, owning the whole crowd.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They're making him look like dumbass.
Yeah.
This is what Biden does when he gets into in front of a crowd. This is him at West Point's graduation.
President Joe Biden.
Nobody's clapping. Oh, it gets worse. It sounds like there's like five people there.
Thank you. Never forget, America is the strongest when we lead not only by our example of our power, but by the power of our example. You can clap for that.
Dude, well, if you guys hate him so bad and you don't believe what he's saying and you know that he's committing all these crimes, why the fuck are you not doing anything about it? Mm-hmm. That is the point of the military in this fucking country, bro. That is the point. You protect us from outside and inside.
Right now, we're fucked inside.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Guys, jump in on this conversation.
Think of all the damage that's been done in the last 4 years that could have been avoided had people just taken the election integrity issue seriously and weren't allowed to be bullied into lying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, bro, remember, oh, so you're an election denier? Yes. 100%. Yes. They fucking cheated. Like, how hard is that to say? But these pussies out here won't fucking say it. Oh, those are unfounded. If that's unfounded, then why is all this information coming out in Georgia?
Right.
Why is all this information coming out in Arizona? Why is all this shit about Dominion being connected to fucking Canada, being connected to Uzbekistan, fucking coming out? These were cheating. They cheated. That's why nobody shows up for them. They knew they were going to cheat. They cheated. They didn't parade Biden around and do tours. They had him in his basement for 2 years. Like, I don't understand how. Like,
well, it's because this CNN headline says there was no evidence. Because MSNBC says there was no evidence, just like they said that mask work and vaccines were safe, and to trust the science. It's people. It's low IQ people that just don't read past the headlines, and they take that on the surface value and keep it moving.
I think a big part of it is people would rather not know than know, because if you actually lived in a reality where you were completely lied to all the time, and basically everything that you looked at on the news was just fake, and they were stealing elections, and basically everything's made up, that's a much harder reality to face than just like living your life as normal. Like, imagine everyone, like, I forget who said it on the podcast, but like, imagine everyone knowing. Like, that's for a normal NPC person, like, that's hard to deal with. Like, us here, we've gone down the rabbit holes and like we've over time figured it out. But imagine if the curtain was just brought up, it's like, hey, everything that you believe is fake. It's like, that's mind breaking for people. So it's just easier to, instead of figure out if that's true, just be like, nah,
you guys are crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy. Yeah. There's no chance. That's too ridiculous. Yeah. They're stealing elections. No way.
Not here in America.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
Well, I think there's also some fear too, because it's like, that unveils the truth that you have to do something about it.
Correct.
100%. Correct. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to get off the fucking bench.
That's what they're afraid of, man. Yeah. And I get it. Like, dude, it is scary to think that, like, we are the 1776, 23, 24, 30-year-olds that are changing and leading, drastic global change. Like, that's
I don't know. I think that's exciting. I think there's an excitement to that.
1000%.
Why? How the fuck would you be afraid of that? Bro, do you know how many people have lived in their life, never had a chance to be relevant? Like, here we are on Memorial Day talking about this. Okay? Most people live their entire lives without any chance to be historically relevant. And we have a chance here in America as young men and women to make a real difference in the future of this country. That's not something to be afraid of. That is something to get excited about. Our decisions, our actions, the way we live, the way we handle what's going on right now matters, and it matters a lot. And we shouldn't be afraid of that. We should be excited about that and say, dude, I have the ability through my actions, through my words, through my example, to make a change in this country and its future. Nobody gets to do that. That is a very rare opportunity, and we have it right now. And if we, instead of looking at this and saying, man, that's scary, we said, dude, this is awesome, we could actually create the best America that's ever existed if we just stand up right now and do what we know to be the right thing and the true thing and stand for what we believe. To me, that's exciting as fuck.
We're the most important generation of men and women in this country since the founding days.
Correct.
And there's all this talk of purpose in like the personal development space. Like, everyone asks, like, how do I find my purpose? It's like, it's literally right in front of you. Like, you don't get to just pick your purpose. Sometimes the purpose is imposed upon you based on your environment. Like, here we are in a situation where the country's burning, civilization is on the verge of collapse, and you have the opportunity to do something about it. Are you going to do it? Are you going to fulfill that purpose? There's a whole lot of purpose there just waiting for you to embark on it. And it's just whether or not you choose to do it.
There's never been a bigger purpose ever than right now for everybody. Like, when these people say this, well, how do I find my purpose? What are you talking about, dude? The world is on fire. There is mass criminal behavior happening, mass oppression, and not the way they tell you it's happening.
And not just to black people.
dude, we have more of an opportunity to make a change than our parents did, than our grandparents did, than our great-grandparents did. And yes, I'm including the people who fought in World War II. What we have the ability to do now matters more than that, because if we don't stop what's happening now, there is no coming back. We will have a world government of communist countries that they call, a global unity, which isn't global at all. There's no national identity. There's no national pride. There's no real cultural race anymore, because they're trying to create a one race. Like, dude, it's fucking scary. And dude, that's going to lead to wars with countries like Russia and China and Iran and the Middle Eastern countries, which are not going to accept globalization at all. They're not going to give up their national identity. You see what I'm saying? So we're in a situation where what we do here in this country, because what we do here in this country is going to dictate the outcome for many of the other countries, because we're the only country that's actually armed.
Yep.
Yeah, so when people say, well, why does it matter what we do? Well, fuck, bro, if we don't win, Australia's going to die, fucking Canada's going to die, fucking Europe's going to die. And if we win, none of that will happen. So it's very important what happens here. And people who live here, you guys listen to this show, you have to get engaged in this. You have to get involved in this. You have to use your voice. You have to speak truth. And if you don't, your kids will grow up and be fucking slaves. That is reality.
Oh, man. Guys, jump in on this conversation. Let us know what you guys think. With that being said, our final segment of the show, as always, we have thumbs up. We're dumb as fuck. This is what we bring a headline in. We talk about it to get one of those two options. So with that being said, our thumbs up, or dumb as fuck headline reads, I'm really that bitch. Lizzo embraces being roasted on South Park for having lower expectations. Did you guys see this? This is actually pretty fucking funny.
I saw the video of her.
The reaction. Yeah. It was pretty cool. So on Saturday, singer Lizzo reacted. For those of you guys who don't know, this is Lizzo here. That's Lizzo.
She's cute.
Chihuahua. On Saturday, singer Lizzo reacted to South Park roasting her for being the face of the body positivity movement and for having lowered standards around weight in its special title, quote, The End of Obesity. In a video posted on TikTok, the singer played a clip from the South Park episode and reacted in real time. In the clip, Sharon Marsh explains how her insurance wouldn't pay for the weight loss drug Ozempic, but instead prescribed her Lizzo to lower standards and expectations. Here is the clip.
Guys, my worst fear has been actualized. I've been referenced in a South Park episode. I'm so scared. I'm gonna blind duet to it right now. I just feel like, damn, I'm really that bitch. I'm really that bitch. I really showed the world how to love yourself and not give a fuck, to the point where these men in Colorado know who the fuck I am and put it on their cartoon that's been around for 25 years. I'm really that bitch, and I'll show y'all how to not give a fuck, and I'm gonna keep on showing you how to not give a fuck. Oh, Lizzo, bitch.
No. Here's the interesting thing. So Lizzo has publicly become one of the most...
Everybody knows who you are. Nobody can... You block out the fucking sun, bro. We all see you. We see you everywhere we look.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So she's supposedly supposed to be leading this body positivity movement. However, last year, former backup dancers for the singer filed a lawsuit that accused her of fat shaming them, along with allegations of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment.
Dude, didn't they accuse her of like making them put bananas in their pussies or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah.
Wasn't that the thing?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Yep, that was definitely.
Yeah. Well, she'll be dead.
They didn't complain about that.
Listen, bro. People like this don't live long. They just don't. They don't. How many people do you see that are that big that are fucking 50 years old?
No, you don't.
She looks like Grimace.
It's a fuck. Listen, bro. Hold on. People don't understand. She's made. She was selected. She was made for a reason. And the reason that she is made is exactly what they're making fun of on South Park. Okay? They are trying to get you to not give a fuck about how healthy you are, because when you're not healthy and you get fat, you got to consume more of their drugs. You're consuming more of their food. You're consuming more of their subscription data. You're making them money. Oh, and by the way, you don't live very long, which is what they want. All right. So she thinks that she's doing something and that she was selected. She's good enough to be a star and blah, 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 blah. You wouldn't have been a star 20 years ago. You wouldn't, nobody would have, because you are fucking huge and you're not attractive to look at. And that's fine. I'm just being honest.
And her music sucks.
Yeah. Well, dude. And then they let her play the fucking crystal flute to demoralize and defile the country's history. She is a part of the demoralization
100%.
process. And she is too stupid to understand that you are a puppet. You are a clown. And she's thinking like, oh, I'm the best there is. And I'm that bitch that doesn't give a fuck. No, dude, you were installed. You were selected by the people who run all this shit to be a figurehead for demoralization. Okay. And this is why when we talk about personal excellence being the ultimate rebellion, it actually is. Okay, you have to be fit. You have to be intelligent. You have to make money. You have to be good to your neighbor. You have to set a good example. These are requirements that we have as American citizens. This is the reason that other people died and other people sacrificed their lives so that you would live a life worthy of that sacrifice. And everything that America stands for is based upon that principle. So when we have Lizzo out there in front of the world claiming body positivity, and we have 400-pound fitness models on the cover of Healthy Living or whatever, or Cosmopolitan or whatever they put them on, saying this is healthy, and we all know it's not healthy. And then you have fat activists on TikTok dying by the dozens, all right?
Baker's dozens.
Bro, this is part of the agenda. That is it. All right. And she doesn't understand that because she wants to believe that she's a superstar. And I showed all these people. No, dude, you're hurting people. You're teaching people to be fat fucks and lazy fucks. You're teaching people to be exactly what the fuck they want people to be, which is fat, stupid, lazy, sick, unintelligent, poor, so that they're easy to control. And that's what she's teaching people how to do.
Yeah. I mean, the entire world's on Lizzo, basically, just lowering their standards in every way, shape, and form. It's like you can either bend reality to fit your choices or bend your choices to fit reality. And a lot of people choose to bend reality to fit their choices. They would rather get fat and say that fat's being okay, and name your thing. All the people that say that are broke say money's not everything. They change the rules of the game to fit their choices to justify them rather than saying, I fucked up.
Yeah.
It's much harder to have the humility to say, I made the wrong choice. This is actually the way it should be. This is where the bar should be, and I'm falling short of that. But instead they say, fuck that bar. This is where it should be.
Yeah.
And that's what Lizzo is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what are we giving this, guys?
I think they should have went harder on her.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
I think they could have definitely.
I just think her reaction was so cheesy, dude. Oh, I am that bitch. Like, bro, stop with this bad bitch
all
shit.
of them.
Yeah. Like, I'm so fucking sick of it.
She's not that bitch. She's fat bitch.
Well, that's accurate. And dude, it's just mindless NPC entertainment and grooming. You want to talk about grooming? That's grooming.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Well, we'll do dumb as fuck on that one.
Yeah, I think so too.
Guys, Andy, Matt, that's all I got.
Yeah, guys. Don't be a hoe.
Share the show.